Today is the one-year anniversary of Walter Scott's murder by cop on April 4th, 2015. That's 1 year ago today. 50-year-old Walter Scott, a father of four, was pulled over by Officer Michael Slager in North Charleston, South Carolina. The cop reportedly stopped him for a broken taillight, then executed him. And had there not been video of it from a bystander, we would never know. Because he had thrown his taser down by him, and his whole police report was, the guy tried to struggle with me. None of that was true. This was execution by cop 1 year ago today. Freddie Gray, Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, Tanisha Anderson, John Crawford III, Michael Brown Jr. I mean, the list goes on and on. And Talking Dog posted a really interesting piece last Thursday over at Democratic Underground that I printed out. I wanted to get to. Just now, this seems like the perfect time. He's talking about how if you've watched any of the Republican town halls, particularly the ones in the rural states, these Republicans are saying, we're so worried about the heroin epidemic because all these young white men and women are getting addicted and dying of overdoses and things. We got to do something about it. And, we need to, and there's this huge movement now for treatment, not punishment. And Talking Dog notes, or maybe PBS.org did, I'm not sure, but I think this was Talking Dog. Actually, it's probably from PBS. He's including a link from PBS.org. There was no wave of compassion when addicts were hooked on crack. He says, back then when addiction was a black problem, there was no wave of national compassion. Instead, we were warned of super predators, young faceless black men wearing bandanas and sagging jeans. No matter how far from our lives, this is being written by an African-American man, no matter how far from our lives crack was, we're guilty by association. By the time I was in college in the early 1990s, my short dreadlocks meant older women who crossed the street to avoid me. African Americans were cast as pathological. Their plight was evidence of collective moral failure, of welfare mothers and rock-slinging thugs, and a reason to cut off all help. Blacks would just have to pull themselves out of the crack epidemic. Until then, the only answer lay in cordoning off the wreckage with militarized policing. Today, police chiefs facing heroin addiction are responding not by invoking war, but by trying to save lives and get people into rehab. Suddenly, crime is understood as a sign of underlying addiction rather than a scourge to be eradicated. White people wake up. This is like white privilege on steroids. Okay, fine. Isn't it a wonderful thing that we're all going to start talking about treatment rather than punishment? I agree. It's a wonderful thing. But isn't it tragic that conversation didn't even really get kicked off until white people started getting addicted in large numbers? What does this tell you about our society? I think it tells us a lot about our society and how far we still have to go. We have an enormous way to go. I mean, you've still got, the entire Republican Party, for all practical purposes, stonewalling the Supreme Court pick of our first African-American president in the 8th year of disrespecting President Obama.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.